The dotted line and what you need to know about real estate contracts. So you've found the home that you'd like to buy, and the next step is to make an offer. Now, regardless if you're buying a for sale by owner home or working with a real estate agent, a formal written contract needs to be negotiated and signed between you and the seller. Now, I won't be able to cover every single section of a real estate contract due to the length of time of this class, but I'd like to share with you some of the main things that you should consider and know about. First, you, the buyer, must initiate the contract. That means that you and the real estate agent must determine what price to offer the seller. So ask your real estate agent to tell you the sales prices of other homes that have sold in the area, but ultimately it's up to you to decide the dollar amount you want to pay for the home. Next, you'll be required to write a check called earnest money, which indicates to the seller that you are a serious buyer. Now, the earnest money check is cashed and held in a bank escrow account, but it is only cashed when the final sales price and terms are agreed to between you and the seller. You'll also need to disclose what type of mortgage you've applied for. Certain types of mortgages require certain inspections, and knowing the type of financing also determines who's going to appraise the home. For example, if you're planning on an FHA loan, there are different requirements than a conventional loan. So that's one of the main reasons to be pre-approved prior to buying a home. You'll also find a section explaining your options to order a home inspection, which is an independent, trained person who will inspect the mechanical components of the home and report them to you. Ask your real estate agent to explain your options if you find some major problems with the home. Now, in order to reduce some of the money that you need for your closing costs, you may ask a real estate agent to include a clause that the seller pay for all or part of your closing costs. Now, sometimes the seller will, sometimes they won't. But if you're short of cash or want to use the closing cost money to buy furniture instead, here's how the negotiation would work. So let's say that the listing price of the home was $200,000 and you offered $190,000 with the clause that you're asking the seller to pay $3,000 of your closing costs. Now, the seller may write a counteroffer selling you the home for $193,000 and they pay the closing costs. So in effect, you're financing $3,000 into the loan. But on the other hand, you have $3,000 extra to spend on moving expenses or furniture, or you might want to use some of the money to pay off credit cards. You and the real estate agent will also need to choose a closing date. It's important that you choose a date that is realistic, because there are times that appraisals could be delayed depending on how many are on back order. And I'll keep you informed about the time frame and how long it'll take after the appraisal has been received to get a final approval. Another factor would be how long it would take for the title insurance and the closing documents to be finalized. And if there are repairs, it also plays a part on when the loan can be closed. Also consider a couple more things. When do you have to move out where you're living now? When will your lease end? Or if you sold a home, when will that close? I suggest that you read and understand every single paragraph of the real estate contract. An experienced real estate agent should be able to explain each one and let you know what they mean or problems that you can run into. And if you'd like extra assurance or you're working with a for sale by owner seller, ask an attorney to review it and explain anything that you are unsure about. And to get your pre-approval started today, turn on Turbo Mortgages by applying on our home page.
You're